All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So, I have a little news story to read you, and this is from the Daily Wire, October 11th, 2020, which is today. It's written by Emily Zanata, and I'm not going to be correcting this article, but I am going to say a few things after I read some of it to you. A right-wing protester was killed in a violent confrontation that took place amid dueling protests in downtown Denver, Colorado. Saturday, and a private security guard hired by a local news organization is being held on murder charges. So basically, it was a patriot rally going against Antifa and BLM. And you can see the confrontation. And the original confrontation didn't even involve the young man that did the shooting. Remember, he's working security. So he had no choice but to be there. That's his job. He's working private security for a news company, to keep their reporters safe. So the initial confrontation was between one of the Patriot guys and one of the, I can't even say he was BLM because he's wearing a Black Guns Matter shirt. And that's kind of a right-leaning organization, so I have no idea what was going on. But if you'll notice, if you get the video, and if I can find it, I'll post it to my Facebook account. But they're arguing back and forth, and the guy has mace, right? You sit in his hand. And so two other guys are trying to break it up, and the kid's like, yeah, screw that. Don't put your effing hands on me. But some people were trying to de-escalate it. Now, after that de-escalated, well, it didn't really de-escalate. You see the guy with the bear mace, or whatever kind of mace he had, walk off, sprayed the mace, and then you see the shot, and he immediately goes down. Well, from other camera angles I've seen on YouTube, you can see he walks up to this private security kid, slaps his hat off his head, then sprays him with mace. Now, this kid should not be arrested on murder. He was defending himself. He was defending his charge. I don't know if anything was said. You can't really tell from the video angles I've seen. But the fact that he's there protecting somebody, I imagine if an angry man with mace walks up, he's going to ask them to move back. And it's a justifiable shooting. At that point, he physically attacked him. Then he maced him. So think about this from the kid's point of view. You've already hit me. You're macing me. If I go down and you get my gun, yeah, it's a justified shooting. I don't even know why they took him into custody. Because if the kid was working security, I can't imagine that he was mixed up into a bunch of yelling and screaming, except for to keep people away from his charges. But we'll know more when the whole story comes out. But from what I've seen, justifiable shooting. But what I wanted to tell you, one thing I always tell my nieces, nephews, my daughter, any young people I care about, stay away from these things. I never go to any type of these things. No rally, no nothing. And I'm very pro-Second Amendment, and I'm very much a patriot. I don't go to those rallies because all it takes is one person to use bad judgment, and there you are. Look how many shootings there have already been. Don't forget we had the man in Portland who was executed in the street. And both sides are running around with mace, spraying people like it's a game. It's not a game. What did I just say yesterday? Just said this yesterday on another one of my shows. One day you're going to run into that wrong person. And it looks like people are starting to run into that wrong person quite regularly. It has to stop. It's ridiculous. So if you care about yourself and you care about your future, don't go to these things. I'm not going to anybody's rally. My mom always said, if you're with somebody and they do something, you're just as responsible. Also, don't forget Nancy Pelosi and who's the one from Florida? Maxine Waters, right? They called for this. This is what they wanted. Not because they care about it. I think they called for about kids in cages. Keep in mind, it was President Obama who built those cages, and he did it to try to stop the wave of child trafficking, child sex trafficking. So he did the right thing. Congress just wouldn't give him enough money to do it the way he wanted to. So he did it with what he had. But child sex trafficking is a big thing down there on that border, and I still say he did the right thing. But they were telling people, oh, there should be violent uprisings. Nancy Pelosi, she's on video saying, I don't know why people aren't rioting in the streets, and I don't know why there's not an uprising. Maxine Waters is giving a speech and says, oh, if you find one of those people from the other side, and you form a group, you form a mob, and you get them out of that restaurant or whatever. Now look what's happening to people. So as more and more people start getting killed at these things, because we all know this is going to escalate. It's going to escalate. It's not going to be pretty. I believe anybody calling for this should be held liable. Should be held liable. You're an elected official. You see, if Dan says, hey, go in the streets and riot, first of all, Dan would never tell you that. It's one thing. But when the Speaker of the House and an elected Congresswoman call for it, it's a whole different thing. You should be held responsible. This has gotten out of control and needs to stop. Because I'm telling you, the more and more this goes on, the more and more Trump's going to get a landslide. Because if you don't think, with all these incidents going on at these riots, Trump's going to start pulling up video of liberals talking, calling for this, and he's going to very much point it out, is this what you want? Because this is what they want for you. But anyway, so the kid was not wearing a security guard shirt, which he should have been, honestly, or something to indicate that he's working security. That might have actually made the guy change his mind a little bit. But after the shooting, the kid immediately got to his knees, gave up his guns. The cops were right on top of it. But no, don't go to these things. These people want you out there, and all you're doing is pushing their objective. And it has no effect on your life, your income. Actually, it might have an effect on your life. And if you get arrested, it will have an impact on your income. So all these people who are on Facebook telling you to go to riots and lootings, and tell them Dan said, no, don't do that. Why would you do that? Why place yourself in danger? I'm really big on self-preservation. And to put yourself in the middle of this for any reason is not a wise decision. This could have been avoided, but you run up to an armed security guard or whatever, slap his hat off his head, spray him with bear mace. To me, it's justified. Tell you. But thank you for watching this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. If I can find those videos, I'll get them all up on my Facebook page. Go check them out. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your opinion is. And avoid this as much as possible. Focus on your family, your home, and getting your money together. Which I'm going to do another show about why you should form a corporation coming up soon. So thank you for watching this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. Like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do.